Adam Johnson and myself, Trish Regan. We're actually right here at the American Sign Museum. Really just a tremendous piece of Americana, all of this signage that we're surrounded by.
I mean, there's signs. We have the original signage from the Marshall Field store in Chicago. We have Rolex watches. We have
Boy Scouts of America is back there. I said we need to get a picture of you under that.
Yeah.
Anyway, we want to get to our guest right now. Edward W. Scripps came to Cincinnati more than a century ago, and back then people got their news from his penny press. Today, E.W. Scripps runs newspapers, TV stations, and is driving new growth in digital media. CEO Richard Boehne is leading the charge. He joins us right now here in Cincinnati, and it's not just any day, actually. We should point out your company turns 134 years old today.
This is a big anniversary.
How about that?
Yep. Congratulations.
It's a company that has evolved and succeeded for an awful long time.
Right here in Ohio.
That's right. This is home.
Let's talk about the Ohio economy. In some ways, you're seeing an economy that's faring better than the rest of the nation right now, at least when it comes to jobs.
Yeah, it's a little better here. Unemployment, I think you mentioned in your last segments, running below the state and a little bit below the national.
6.4% here in the county, 7% for Ohio. The nation's at 7.9, so considerably better.
Yeah,
Does it feel better? I mean,
well, I think it does. You know, Cincinnati is a business town, a corporate town, home to Procter & Gamble, Kroger, Macy's, Toyota of North America, Scripps. You know, just an amazing number of corporations that provide a fantastic foundation for this city.
When you look at the future right now, what do you see? I mean, there's a move clearly within the media industry as a whole into the digital platform.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that. And then we'd also like to get your thoughts on where the economy is going to be as we move 6, 12, 18 months forward.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we are one of those companies. We're building and adding jobs. We have recently agreed to add 100+ digital media jobs here in Cincinnati. Going to do it right downtown at our corporate headquarters. And because this is such a strong town for consumer marketing, this is a consumer branding and marketing hub, could be one of the strongest markets in the world for that kind of work. This was the natural place for us to build the next phase of our company.
And I'm curious, by the way, when you talk about adding 100 digital people, is that to build out your ability to create digital programming, or is it people who are actually then monetizing that digital platform? Because there's a difference.
It's both the base of the sales operation is there, and then that's where we're designing new digital news products for our TV stations and newspapers and markets across the country.
That is quite the future as we move closer and closer to and are in that digital age. But let me get back to the economy for a moment. Where is it going to be 6 months from now? Do you think things are getting better? I mean, you must feel somewhat optimistic if you're adding 100 jobs.
Sure, things are getting better. It's slow. I think what people in Ohio are good at recognizing is there has to be economic activity. You know, people in Ohio understand that somebody has to make something that somebody wants to buy, or a service that somebody wants to buy, to create that economic activity that creates jobs. So you have a good environment for economic investment, a lot of good support in Columbus. So we're adding jobs.
What are voters in the business community telling you?
Voters in the business community are just, I think, eager for it to be over and to understand consistency.
Meaning the election to be over.
Have the election over and then understand where we're going to go from here.
And do they assume that if you have an outcome, well, there will be an outcome, but either way that we're going to get clarity just because there's an outcome? You think that's part of it?
Well, at least you have some sense of clarity, understanding whether you have a much stronger attitude toward free enterprise and you know, a free market, or much more of a controlled and government playing a role in where we go from here.
Well, most business leaders say they want more free market and less government control.
I'd say what we definitely want is whatever spurs the greatest economic activity at the top. As you all probably know, I run a journalism organization, so there are plenty of thousands of journalists who are hoping that you're going to get me to say who I'm voting for this week. And I'm here to say I'm not going to tell you who I'm going to vote for.
But I'll tell you what, maybe you can...
Whoever helps generate economic activity, that's what we're in favor of.
Well, all right, so you want to generate economic activity. Let me backtrack a little bit. What is the best path to that economic activity growth?
Well, systems that support those of us who want to make investments, who want to add jobs. As I said, here in Ohio, we have very good state support for economic development, good state investment. So I think they just want whoever is going to get behind them and help them add jobs. Well, everybody wants to add jobs.
Right.
Nobody doesn't want to add jobs.
Let me ask you this. The motto of your company, quote, give light and people will find their own way. Here we are in a museum filled with light. Exactly what does that mean in this election? Give people light and they'll find their way.
Well, we have an army of journalists covering the election, and we have an army here in Ohio. So what we try to do is cover, not unlike you all are doing, every angle we can find of the election and try to give people some of the context they need in Ohio that they may not get from the national news outlets. So it's this is big season for us. We also handle a lot of political advertising, which is...
hey, an election certainly helps you every 4 years in Ohio.
That's right.
All right. Thank you so much.
So we work both sides.
Rich Boehne, the CEO of EW Scripts. Thank you for joining us here. All right, coming up next, Ohio's